Good morning, friends. Welcome to Spirit Play. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Thank you for coming and joining me. Are you ready? Do you remember what it is to be ready? We sit, we quiet our mind and our heart and our mouths so that we can listen, and then we get to play. Shall we light our chalice this morning? Say the words with me if you know them. We light this chalice as a symbol of our faith, the light of truth and the warmth of love. And now it's time for our peace greeting. Remember, I say it first and you say it back. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. I honor the wisdom in you. Come, let us wonder together. Oh, friends, I'm so happy that you're here today. No one has sent me any joys and sorrows yet. Remember to send me some joys and sorrows. Do you know what would be my joy if you sent me some? That you sent me some. I would be so excited. Today, I have a joy that I'm here with you again, even in this kind of funny way. And I have another joy too today, because the stories that we tell at the holidays are kind of fun. So I'm excited about our story today. What joys and sorrows are you carrying around today? Share with your family what your joys and sorrows are today, or you can hold it in your heart, or you can pass. Go ahead. And remember, you can have your parent or whoever's the grown-up with you send Michelle an email at church to share your joys and sorrows with us. And then we can share them with everybody. It's even okay to have your person send in something that just says, I have a joy, I'm keeping it in my heart. We want to hear that too. We miss you at church. And so that is one way that we can feel connected to your heart. I'm feeling connected to your heart even if you didn't send any in, so that's okay too. We're all doing our best. It's time for our story. Here's our story for today. Let's see what it is. What do you think? Is it the nighttime? It's so big. Oh, it's really big. Oh, what else is in here for today? I can't tell what's going on yet. There's something green. What do you think that could be? Maybe grass? Oh, there's something orange. Maybe it could be a smile. I don't know. And something blue. I think that's all we have to start with today. This story takes place a long time ago in an African village in the country of Ghana. There was a family that lived there. After their mother died, the father was both mother and father to his 7 sons. His 7 sons were very handsome. Their skin was the color of mahogany. Their arms and legs were straight and strong, just like a warrior's spear. But even though they were handsome and strong, the father was disappointed with his sons. For every day as the sun rose and all day long until it set, the brothers were arguing. They would argue in the morning about tending the crops. They would argue in the afternoon about the weather. One son would say, "Oh, it's so hot." Another would say, No, I feel a cool breeze." They would argue about ending work at the end of the day. "Let's do one more row," one would say. "I think it's about time to go home," another would say. "Can't you see the sun is setting?" another would say. And on it would go, arguing and arguing until the moon was up and the stars were shining. When they were eating meals together, they would continue to fight. One would say, "You didn't give me as much as everyone else. That's not fair." And then the oldest would say, "Well, if you don't want it, I'll take it," and snatch the food right off his plate. They would argue and argue and argue, even when the father said, "I split the food equally among you." They would sometimes fight until all the food was cold. One sad day, the father died. In the morning, when the sun came up, the brothers came to visit the chief. The chief said to the brothers, "Your father has left you an inheritance." And the brothers were very excited. They started arguing right away. The oldest said, "I know Father left everything to me because I'm the oldest." And the youngest said, "Well, I know Father left everything to me because I'm the youngest." And the middle son said, "He left everything to me because I was his favorite." "Huh," said another one, "It's all mine." The chief said, "Hold on," but the brothers had started fighting and kicking and rolling around on the ground. And the chief said, "Stop this instant." And so the brothers stopped and dusted themselves off. The chief said, "Your father has left everything equally to all of you, but before the moon rises tonight, you must figure out how to turn this silk thread into gold." He gave thread to the brothers. One brother got red. One brother got yellow. One brother got black. One brother got green. One brother got blue. One brother got orange, and the youngest brother got white. "Furthermore," said the chief, "all day today you must not argue or fight. If you argue and fight, all of your father's possessions will be taken from you, and you'll be put out like beggars, and they will be given equally to the poorest people in the village." This made the brothers speechless. They made their way home without talking. And for the first time in a long time, they sat down quietly with one another, shoulder to shoulder, youngest to oldest, and did not fight. One brother said, "Father would not turn us out like beggars if it was an impossible job." Another brother said, "Let us not argue. Let us have peace." Another brother said, "I do not think it is impossible. Our Father loved us." And so they wondered about what to do. One brother said, "Do you think there's gold inside the thread?" And he held it up to the light. And all the brothers held up their thread and looked. And one brother said, "I do not think that there is gold inside the threads, brother. But that was a good idea." "Thank you," said the other brother. I wonder if we could weave this cloth and sell it and get gold for it." Another brother said, "That's a wonderful idea, but there's not enough thread to make a whole bolt of one color cloth." They all thought. Maybe we could use all the colors together to make a cloth. But another brother said, "Oh, no one in our village wears all the colors. They just wear cloth made of one color." Another brother said, "Maybe we could make the most beautiful cloth that anyone's ever seen, and everyone will want to buy it." They thought this was a good idea, and so they started to work together. The first thing they needed to do was to make a loom. The older brothers cut the wood for the loom, and the younger brothers held it while they put it together. And then they began to weave. One brother said, "I bet it will go much faster if we work together." The other brother said, "That's a great idea." So they wove and wove and wove and wove together. The sun was getting high in the sky when they finished the cloth, and they folded it up and put it in a basket to take to the village. They put it on their heads and started to walk as fast as they could to get to the village. When they got there, they went to the marketplace and right away started shouting, "Come buy the most beautiful cloth in the world! Come see the most beautiful cloth in the world!" And they spread the cloth out for everyone to see. There were patterns of birds in the cloth. There were shapes in the cloth. The colors were vibrant and beautiful. And the villagers came and said, "What interesting cloth! I've never seen something so beautiful. Oh my, this is such good quality," they said as they rubbed it in their hands. The king's treasurer came up and came to the front of the crowd. People made way for him, and he said, "Oh, this is the most beautiful cloth I've ever seen. This cloth is fit for a king. I must have all of it." The brothers whispered to one another, "Well, cloth as beautiful for a king must be the price that only a king could afford. It will cost you 1 bag of gold." And the treasurer said, "Sold." And he took his bag of gold and he gave it to the sons. They were overjoyed, and the sun was going down. They hurried home to their village. When they got there, they came to the chief and said, "We have made cloth that we have sold for gold." And the chief said, "Have you argued or fought today?" And they said, "No, we've been too busy working together to argue and fight." The chief said, "You have learned your lesson well. Your inheritance is yours, divided equally among you." But the youngest, while everyone was happy, thought, "What about the villagers, the poorest villagers who are going to get something? We get an inheritance, but what about them?" The chief said, "You have learned your lesson very, very well." And so the brothers decided they could teach the villagers how to make gold from thread. They taught the villagers, and the villagers very carefully wove this new cloth, and they all prospered. The Ashanti brothers continued to farm and do well with one another, and they kept the peace. as they helped their village. Friends, what was the best part of this story for you this morning? Talk to one another in your family about what the best part of the story was. Friends, what do you think was the most important part of this story today? This was a busy story this morning. If you were something or someone in this story, who or what would you be? Friends, is there any part of this story we could leave out and still have all the story we need? What an interesting story today. Those brothers learned a lot in one day. I wonder if they've ever made cloth before. I wonder if their dad had been worried if they'd learn what they were supposed to learn. I wonder how grateful and happy they were at the end of the story when they helped their whole village. Now is work time to think about and work on this story. What will you choose to do in your work time today? Will you find something to work on with your family member or with your sibling? When you're done with your work time today, you can come back and close your class. We'll close our class right now, so feel free to pause the video and return later. It's time to sing our goodbye song. Let's unlight our chalice first. Though we extinguish the light of this chalice here, we know that the light of truth and the warmth of love go with us in our hearts. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Take care, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.